You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Hit in the air to deep right center.
Pike open on the low side. Greg Pike, believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy. No need to be greedy. Mad friends with Benzes and C-notes by the layers. I love it when you call me Big Papa.
It is high.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is far. It is gone.
You're listening to the Tom and Jerry Show. Welcome back to another episode of the Tom and Jerry Show. Yesterday was Thanksgiving.
Hope you enjoyed your day.
Yes. I want to give a little thanks. You know, being in the Thanksgiving mood.
Okay.
I want to thank everybody that's listening to our show.
Definitely, I would like to do that too. It's been we did not expect the amount of views we're getting and stuff like that. It's been great. It's like really it's a lot of motivation for us and stuff to keep going and stuff. It's been really great.
Yeah, especially that, you know, we're not getting paid to do this. This is just us coming out and doing something
for fun.
Actually, to get our name out there, to get, you know, stuff out there so people can look at.
Yeah, exactly.
So that we can go on keep doing you know,
what we love doing.
You know, a dream job, you know, of talking sports.
So thank you guys
on the radio,
please,
so people can listen.
Please keep listening.
So we had a couple of good games.
Yeah, definitely a couple of good games.
I mean, the first two games were actually very good. The last game
wasn't much of a game.
Yeah,
well, for 15 minutes it was. But other than that,
for the first quarter. But first game we had Lions and Texans. So the Lions come into that game losing 8 consecutive on Thanksgiving.
So I'm like, I feel like the one game they show up to every year is always the Thanksgiving. Even when they were like the defeated team and stuff like that, like they always showed up. So I knew it was going to be like a good game, but something is like missing on this team that was there last year. You know, like, it's just not.
We came into, you know, Wednesday, you know, previewing this game.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was going to be a blowout because of the way the Lions have been playing lately, but they actually came to play. And
should have won that game.
Exactly. I mean, the Texans play good. I mean, Schaub 29 for 48, 315 with a touchdown and an interception. Foster goes over the 1,000-yard mark.
1,000-yard mark in a year.
He had 20 carries for 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Andre Johnson, just insane, 9 catches, 188 yards.
I was watching that game. It seemed like every time either one of the teams controlled the ball, it was either Andre Johnson or Calvin Johnson.
Exactly.
Just going ham.
Obviously, these are the two best wide receivers in the game easily. Right now. You know, then you go on to the other side. Stafford, 31 for 61, 441 yards, 2 touchdowns. He puts up the yards and he puts up the numbers. It's just...
Yeah, he makes it seem like he does good, but he really doesn't do good. And that's,
I mean, I watched, and the thing I hate about him is that side-on pass.
Oh, my God. I was just going to bring that up because...
That's all he does.
It seems like once he does it, like, once in the game, the rest of the game, it's out there constantly.
I know, and it's whenever he has pressure in his face. He has to, you know, he never moves out of that pocket. Mm-hmm. It's always, you know...
And that's when you should be doing a sidearm out of the pocket. You shouldn't be standing in the pocket doing sidearm motions.
Bell had 5 carries, 47 yards, but a touchdown. LaShore, 12 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Really didn't have a running game.
No. Which they never seem to do.
Yeah. But then you go to Calvin, 8 catches, 140 yards, and a touchdown. So it's, you know, these two wide receivers are just insane.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody can guard them.
No.
And that's why I just don't understand how the Lions
could be at 4-7.
aren't doing what the Texans are doing. I mean, all you have to do is throw it up to these guys, and they're going to come down with it.
He showed it yesterday. Yeah. Like, some of the catches he had yesterday was just insane, Calvin.
They're going to come down with it. I mean... The big play in that game obviously was the Justin Forsett run. Clearly in the replay, his forearm, elbow, knee, everything's down.
Yeah, I think 4 things are down at once.
But I mean, you look at it. You know, Lions throw the challenge flag, not supposed to.
I hate this rule, by the way. Me and my family got into like really big like argument about this yesterday. Like we weren't like arguing like the rule or whatever, but like if you throw the challenge flag, like it's the heat of the moment, obviously.
Either way, they're going to review the play. I know. So why?
But I can see why he did it, because anger got to him. He was heat of the moment, just right away. He said like before he was even in the end zone, he had the flag out. It's just instinct, heat of the moment. But the rule that the NFL did, they shouldn't not review it just because someone throws a challenge flag. Yeah. Like, give them a penalty, do whatever, but you still, like, review the play.
Exactly. Come on. And that's what I'm saying. They're going to review the play either way. Yeah. Whether he throws a challenge flag or he doesn't, it's automatically reviewed. So why not just review it anyway? It's clear.
It's the stupidest rule I've ever...
Clear as day on that replay. And... You know what? That was the turning point of this game. It was, because now say the Texans don't score on that drive, the Lions win this game. Yeah, the Lions win this game. They don't go into overtime. Yeah. The Lions win this game. Overtime, on the other hand, then you go into
they had chances in overtime.
You go into that, and both kickers miss a field goal.
A couple turnovers too. It was a sloppy overtime.
Yeah, and also in this game, Ndamukong Suh.
Controversial hit, I guess you would call.
I mean, it's like every year there's something going on with this guy. You don't know if it was intentional. You can't really tell if it was intentional.
Yeah, like first glance you thought like, and it's whatever. He was falling down, but like slow replay, you start looking at it and like,
you're like, you know what? I mean, the guy. He's definitely a dirty player. Yeah, easily. Like just from what happened last year on Thanksgiving, what he did on Thanksgiving last year. But I mean, great player. Great player. He's unbelievable nose tackle. Yeah. So it's like, you got to take the the bad with the good. So I mean, whether he gets suspended,
we'll see if the NFL saw something or not.
Who knows? But even like later on in the game, he went in. He got pressure on Schaub, and just the way he took him down was just like. It's
just his reputation taking over.
He just
it's one thing to be like a tough, like physical, grind it out type player, but when you cross like that boundary of like a dirty player, and just do the cheap little things, and that's where you're gonna have problems.
But the Texans win this game in overtime.
Yeah, they're now 10-1, best team in the league at the moment.
Still, I don't believe that they're...
Because you watch them the last two games, 35 points to the Jaguars.
And this is supposed to be a really good defense.
This is supposed to be top-notch defense. One of the best in
Jonathan Joseph is out.
Yeah, he was out. That's
big. Your best corner.
Yeah.
But, they still have J.J. Watt. I mean, he's still playing out of his mind.
He really is.
I think he had, 4 sacks yesterday?
Yeah, I think he's up to...
So he's still
15?
Leading. Yeah, he's still leading the league. So he's unbelievable right now, and for to be a rookie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but the biggest game of Thanksgiving was probably going to be Washington at Dallas.
Yeah, and just like we said Wednesday, and it turned out to be that. It was a very
division
good game.
Washington came out to a huge lead.
Yes,
going into halftime, 28-3, and right then and there. I thought Dallas was done. But Cowboys came out of halftime, made a couple of halftime adjustments.
Yeah, they came out on fire.
They made a nice comeback. But RG3 was just too much.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys, of course, come out with a lot of injuries. It looks like Bruce Carter, their backup from Sean Lee.
That's big. That's a big loss.
Might be out for the season.
That's a big loss.
Orlando Scandrick, their number 3 cornerback, out for the season. You come into that game, no Jay Ratliff. Then, the first quarter you lose Miles Austin.
Yeah.
You're already missing your number 3 wide receiver. You're already missing your number 1 running back. The offensive line is hurt. You got your best lineman that's out. Then your center's out. Then you have your right guard playing center.
Playing different positions because of the injuries.
They're just... The injuries are catching up to them right now, and you really can't... I mean, the way that the NFC East is right now and the way that the Giants have been playing, you can't, say they're out yet, But realistically, you don't, you really can't with the injuries that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
The injuries that they have in the positions that they have
especially compared to the division with I'm sure the other teams got their injuries and stuff, but when you're talking about two of your starting linebackers, offensive line, wide receiver,
unbelievable linebackers.
Exactly. So
it's just it's tough to swallow for Dallas. But what I think coming out of that game and last week's game, the promising thing is Dez Bryant playing the way he's playing.
Exactly, definitely.
Dez Bryant is
playing, to be on the same page now.
He's playing the way he was, projected to come out of the draft. Yeah. So, I'm happy with that. He had 8 catches, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's back-to-back games that he's had over 140 yards. Witten, 9 catches, 74 yards. Felix Jones, 6 rushes, 14 yards. They absolutely have no running game. Absolutely no running game.
It just gets to a point where Romo, you use the run to set up the pass, but when you can't run the ball, they're just going to sit back and wait.
Romo threw it 62 times. He was 37 for 62, 441 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Granted, they were down 28-3 going to halftime, so after the half, he's going to be throwing the ball, but you got to establish a run early on.
Yeah, and and if you want to win, it's obviously going to be on Romo's shoulders.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So, the 2 interceptions that he threw were pretty bad. The second one was just a great play by London Fletcher.
Yeah.
He broke off of Witten. Romo thought he had Cole Beasley easily, but
well, actually, he had a pretty nice game himself there, Mr. Cole Beasley.
Yeah,
he stepped in pretty nice.
Definitely, and you know what it is? Romo's been trying to push him into the offense because he likes him a lot.
Yeah, he's a nice slot guy.
Yeah, he's quick.
Yeah,
he's small. And he's got good hands.
Yeah,
he's got good hands. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot of him.
I think he did good things from him.
Coming out of the draft, they automatically were comparing him to Wes Welker.
Yeah, you could see that. You could see that comparison.
But he came right out and said he doesn't want to be compared to him because Wes Welker is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So but RG3, almost a near
perfect day, except that
again back-to-back games almost. Last week he had 1 incomplete pass against the Eagles, which is ridiculous. But he went 20 for 28 yesterday, 311 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. The one interception
was nice. It was a nice pick.
Yeah.
He overthrew it, but it was still a nice play by
Yeah. Alfred Morris, another
he's a monster. What else can we say about him?
He's just playing out of his mind. 24 carries, 113 yards and a touchdown. Garcon came back.
Another big play.
Came back from the injury. It doesn't even look like he had a foot injury.
No, it doesn't. He was gone.
So, the second half, Cowboys played better. The first half, they played terrible.
If they could just do anything in the first half, Washington,
you don't know what you're going to get from them.
Yeah.
It's kind of... You know what you're going to get from RG3. You don't know what you're going to get from that defense.
Yeah, exactly.
That defense
That's what it comes down to.
So,
they have a nice, pretty efficient offense now.
Yeah.
With RG3 passing, Morris running it, I think
they could use one more, wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. They need like a number 1 wide receiver.
Garcon's nice.
Good.
He's a good guy,
but I don't think he's a number 1.
No, I agree.
So, if they could get that, and then next year they get another wide receiver or something like that, that would be their number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get Brian Arakpo back, Carricker back. That defense is looking good now.
They're going to be tough to play.
Definitely. And RG3, you got to give him props.
He just keeps doing it.
He came out and did what he had to do to win that game.
And he gets hit a lot. If you watch the game, he took some big hits that game.
Oh, yeah.
But he stood in there and did what he had to do. It's pretty impressive for a rookie.
And you know what? And some of the plays that he did yesterday, you can say, bad defense or whatever, but a lot of those touchdowns were all RG3.
Yeah.
All RG3. Yep. Putting it where he had to put it, where the defender was not even going to touch it. Like the one, the Santana Moss touchdown in the corner of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You had Brandon Carr at his back. He didn't even see the ball. Like, it was just a perfect throw.
Yeah.
You know, it was a good catch, but a perfect throw. So,
and I think that's what's surprising people most about RG3, because everyone thought coming out of college, like, just a runner, you know, big running guy, like the spread option play. But he's proven everyone wrong that his arm is the real deal.
Definitely, I think is better than Michael Vick.
Yeah.
So
right now, definitely.
Yeah. So, but Washington wins this game 38-31 to put both teams at 5-6.
Now this division is very interesting now, because say the Giants lose Sunday, they will be 6-5. So now we're talking about a game back between two other teams, which is it's going to be a crazy
and
last couple
Washington
weeks.
has to play the Giants one more time and play the Cowboys one more time.
That's decides their season.
But
right
also
there.
the Cowboys have to play the Eagles one more time. So the Cowboys are 2-2 in the division right now. So you know you never know.
Which isn't bad considering, because everyone just beats up on each other in the division. So it's not
the only
bad.
thing is, I think only one team's going to come out of this division.
I think that's the problem.
Because, you got, it's either going to be the Saints or the Falcons.
You got the Saints' hottest team right now coming up.
The Saints, I think, automatically have a wild card spot.
Yeah, because they're like the Falcons right now.
Unless the Falcons fall apart.
Yeah.
Which could happen.
Which could.
The way that if
they think it's the playoffs, then yes, it could happen.
The way that they've been playing, it could happen. But
NFC West, you got the Seahawks, who never lose at home. They're already at 6 wins too. So
you got to worry about the Packers.
You got the NFC North, the Packers, Bears.
So, it's going to be tough for two teams to come out of this division.
It is this year,
especially coming from a 5-6 record.
Yeah.
So but you never know what can happen. The NFL is very crazy. I mean, just look at last year.
Yeah.
Who won the Super Bowl?
Well, speaking of that,
9-7.
I know that they have a really, really tough schedule coming off the Giants.
They do.
They have a really tough schedule.
They got the Packers, the
Packers,
Saints.
Falcons, Saints, the Ravens.
Yeah.
Going to Baltimore to play them, which obviously is never easy. So, I mean, that's not easy for them.
And the Cowboys do, I mean, you can say they have an easy schedule, but they obviously, take these games.
Yeah.
Like it's just playing a junior team, and like they just look like a junior team.
Yeah, you can just something doesn't click with Garrett. They just don't look like a team, Like
I really think that the Cowboys have to get rid of Jason Garrett.
They do, and he's so sentimentally attached to the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, and that's why Jerry Jones just isn't going to do anything.
The thing that annoys me with Jason Garrett is, you just lose the game. Your team gets blown out in the first half. Your second half, a lot better.
Yeah.
But you still lose the game. But you go into the press conference and say, oh, well, my team played good in the second half.
No, it's not good enough.
No, you have to win a game.
Yeah.
This is the NFL. Every game counts.
We're talking about the divisional game.
Exactly.
Too. It's not just
you have to win this game.
Yeah.
Especially when you got the Giants going into Sunday night playing the Packers, who are kind of hot right now. So, you need this game because now
this could be potentially their last home game of the division.
Exactly,
inside of the division.
And you look at that, and you have to win this game.
You
have to.
He doesn't have that mindset. He doesn't have that killer mindset that you have to win that game.
He's not a coach that can get into your face and scream at you. And I think the Cowboys need that.
They do.
The Cowboys are way too.
It proves they need it because they haven't really done much since Parcells hasn't been there.
Exactly.
And he was the last guy to get in your face.
It's just, they come into a game, they're just lackadaisical.
Yep.
It's just, it annoys me because, with the talent they have on that team, they can go so far. And really, I think the Cowboys have to go into that draft going offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Because they have talent in all the skill positions.
Yeah, they definitely
your wide
do.
receivers, you got Miles Austin and Des Bryant. If they can play a full 16 games without getting hurt, that's
or just avoiding the big injuries.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
they're obviously going to happen, but
that's a top wide receiver core right there.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
And then obviously you have Jason Witten,
one of the best tight ends,
top 3, I think.
I would say top
in the league.
3. Yeah.
Romo, I still think is one of top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, definitely.
I still believe that. People will.
People say what they want to say, but
will argue with me all they want. But just look what he did last night.
Yeah,
it's just
he had to do everything.
Exactly.
When you don't have a running game, It's so easy to blame a quarterback, but it's...
And to be getting hit like he's getting hit right now. His offensive line is terrible. Terrible.
Because everyone's out of position.
And for what the guy does with that offensive line, and I mean, you can put Tom Brady back there. You could put Drew Brees back there. You could put Eli Manning back there.
Doesn't matter
all
who's
these
back
guys,
there.
Peyton Manning, all these guys, top quarterbacks. I don't care what you tell me.
Yeah.
They're not going to do anything better than Romo's going to do.
Exactly.
And you know what? You can even argue that Romo could do better with this offensive line because of, the way he, improvises with everything. A broken play, he'll come around and end up finding someone. Yeah. It's unbelievable how he can break out of a tackle or something like that.
Like, I would just love to, for like the Cowboys fans or just people in general that hate Romo, I'd love to see when Romo doesn't start a game.
Oh, I know.
And see how the backup does, and see how much they like Romo. Just like the Bears did. We'll see how they like that.
So I mean, it was a good game. It ended up turning out to be a good game.
I mean, like how they came out in the first half. That's all on Garrett.
Oh yeah.
That's all on the head coach. I don't like players playing. I know that, but the coach has to get them going.
Oh, exactly.
This is the biggest game of the year so far.
Exactly.
And they just absolutely did not show up in the first half.
It's just, you look at this game and how you not think this is a big game.
That's the problem.
The Giants lose Sunday night, they're 6-5. The Cowboys would have won yesterday, they're 6-5.
They're 6-5. Split the tiebreaker with them too. So they're sitting right at the top of the division.
It's unbelievable how they can do that.
Not only sitting at the top of the division, but also pretty much eliminating the Redskins at the same time.
Exactly.
So it's a double whammy
exactly. And now you just put Washington back in the mix.
Now you made it a 3-team race.
And you made it harder for yourself.
Yep.
So then Thursday night game.
Wasn't much of a game, but we said it. We saw it coming.
We
talked about it Wednesday. We knew this was going to be a blowout.
I definitely saw it coming. Well, the Jets looked good in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's
0-0 the first quarter.
That's pretty much the Jets recap.
5 seconds into the second quarter, it started.
I mean, I literally could not watch what I was. I could not believe what I was watching. It was absolutely insane. They get a touchdown, they kick it off. The guy fumbles it. Edelman picks it up. I'm like, what am I watching?
3 touchdowns in 53 seconds.
That's got to be some kind of record. That's crazy.
3 touchdowns in 53 seconds.
We're talking a regular play clock is 40 seconds, and they got 3 touchdowns and 12 more seconds than that.
Well, you had the first play was the Vereen.
Yeah, the Vereen.
85.
Yeah.
Then the first play was the Sanchez play. I think.
Oh my God, that play.
Broken play, obviously.
Yeah,
it looked like Sanchez wanted to hand it off. Running back thought he was going to go out for a pass.
Yeah.
He turns around and just feels like running into the back of his
I've never
lineman.
seen anything like that play.
And you know what? I've seen like guys run into their linemen.
But not like...
But he got popped.
Yeah.
He decleated.
He dropped.
Decleated. Like, he ran full speed into the back of his offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And just
fell.
I don't know how you can do that unless you're running with your eyes closed.
Yeah. Well, she had to have been because he literally did not see him.
Exactly. I mean, when you're running forward and the guy with the same jersey as you is in front of you, you're not supposed to run into him.
Yeah, I would say
you're not supposed to run into him.
And definitely not supposed to drop the football after.
Well, obviously. I mean, he just totally got decleated. He pretty much decleated himself.
Yeah, and that felt like the play that just completely went to the Patriots.
Then you have the Vereen play.
Which I like, as we were watching that live, I'm like, oh, it's going to be 15, 20-yard gainer. There was no Jet player in the radius of him.
I mean, I don't know what Bart Scott was doing. He got lost in the mix there. He was supposed to be on Vereen.
There were no safeties anywhere, though. I don't know. I just don't know what to say about the Jets.
Then the Patriots kick it off after they kick the extra point. Kick it off. McKnight just runs straight and totally loses the ball, pops
helmet
up
to the ball,
and it just ends up in Julian Edelman's hands.
Right for a touchdown.
To make it 53 seconds. 3 touchdowns in 53 seconds.
Wait, I think they ended up with, it was a 30, they got 35
35 points in that
35
quarter.
35 points in the quarter.
35 points in the second quarter. At halftime, it was 35-3. Brady, doing what he does.
Doing what he always does.
18 for 28, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Ridley, 21 carries, 97 yards.
He's a good player.
Touchdown. Yeah,
he's a good player.
He really is. Then you had Welker, obviously 7 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. He does what he has to do. On the other side of the ball, Sanchez, 26 for 36, 301 yards, a touchdown, an interception, and obviously that fumble. That was horrendous. Besides
the fumble, I'm not going to try and defend him on that, but he has no one on offense. He has nobody. This is not his fault, what's going on with this team. This is not his fault. All the crowd's chanting Tebow. Clearly, they don't know football because this is not Mark Sanchez's fault.
That's the thing that makes me laugh is, he has Sean Green as a running back. Decent running back.
Yeah, but we're not talking about...
Decent running back, but he's not a great running back.
Yeah, we're not talking about one of the best.
I mean...
He's got a joke of wide receivers.
The wide receivers are terrible.
Yeah, it's a joke.
I mean, Curley, I think, is their best wide receiver.
I would say so.
Which is bad. Their best player on offense is obviously Dustin Keller. Yeah. Their front line is
it's not bad.
It's a decent front line. I mean, you got Nick Mangold, who I think is probably top 2 centers in the
Definitely.
game. Then you got DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
They have a solid line.
Which I'll shout it out right now. He's from Freeport, Long Island boy.
Yeah, Strong Island, baby.
Yeah, buddy. And then, Curley had 7 catches, 86 yards. But it's just, people are asking for Tebow. And I'm telling you right now.
It would be worse.
Tebow comes in, it's going to be worse.
It's going to be worse.
Sanchez is a decent quarterback.
He really is. He could play in this league.
There are worse quarterbacks than him.
Absolutely.
That are starting.
Without a doubt.
So I'm telling you right now, he's not the reason why this team is bad.
The reason is the coach and the owner.
Yeah, I think
they go after
they run
publicity.
their mouth way too much. There was no reason to bring in Tebow.
None.
I mean, I don't think that think that they were, really thinking about everything happening like it's happening right now, like where people are bugging out.
But what's the problem? They were thinking headlines with Tebow.
Exactly.
Giants won a Super Bowl.
They were thinking headlines. They were thinking PSLs, ticket sales,
of course.
Merchandise.
They're not worried about winning. Obviously.
They were not worried about winning.
And you could tell that the Tebow move was all publicity, which I said from the beginning, because he hasn't done anything. He's been on the bench the whole time.
And I mean, it's like. And I really have a feeling that Rex Ryan did not want this move to happen.
Yeah,
because if any other coach had this and had their fans screaming Tebow, whatever.
You don't.
I think the coach would have put him in already.
Yeah, he would have.
And I think right now Rex Ryan is too prideful. I think if he'd be. He took bowing
Sanchez.
Down. Yeah.
He's the one that traded up to get Sanchez.
Exactly. And I really don't think that this Tebow move was his idea. And for that, he's pretty much saying, this is my guy. Yeah. This is Sanchez is my guy.
I like that about Rex. Yeah, I respect that too, because it's his guy. He's leaving him in. He's not going to just fall for it because all the fans want it. He could have helped himself by maybe getting a wide receiver or two.
Yeah.
Maybe definitely. Like a real running back.
Hill is good.
Yeah, he'll be good, but
he'll end up being good, but he's
a
rookie right now.
You need wide receivers. The 2 hardest positions to come in as a rookie is quarterback and wide receiver.
Yeah.
So you need to have someone else that's not a rookie and is actually like a viable threat, not Jeremy Curley.
So, I mean, this game ended up being 49-19. And we'll go back to last week's game where Gronkowski got hurt. He left Tom Brady in up to 2 minutes left in that game.
That's what he does. So he does not care.
This is why I like Belichick.
Yeah.
This is why I like Belichick, because you know what? He's getting ripped for leaving Gronkowski in there, but he's doing what he has to do.
Yeah.
And you know what? Leave Brady in
Props
there.
To him.
Whatever.
He knows Brady's smart enough to not to hurt himself.
Exactly. You're going to be running the ball anyway.
Yeah,
you got to run the clock now.
Exactly.
You're up 30 points already.
Everyone thinks it's such a big deal because Brady's still in there, but
Yeah.
It's not a big thing. He's handing it off. He's not doing anything else.
Exactly. When people say, "Oh, what?" So, what is Belichick going to go up to Gronkowski and be like, "You know what? Yeah, sit out. Exactly. I don't want you to get hurt.
You come in and get hurt."
Yeah, exactly.
Like what kind? That's that's disrespect. That's stupid. That would be stupid.
So, I respect Belichick for that. And you know what? And Julian Edelman obviously got hurt yesterday.
Yeah, that was a big hit.
Yeah, but you know what? He's doing what he's got to do.
Yep.
They're up 49-19, but you know what? Leave him in there. It's freak accidents.
Yeah, exactly. Gronkowski was a freak accident.
So
he's done it all year. He's going to continue to do it for years to come. It's just what Belichick does. People got to get over it.
Exactly. We can go over the football games for Sunday.
Got some good ones on the schedule.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely the big one of the week is the Sunday night game.
Yeah, definitely.
The Packers going to the Giants.
And the Giants.
I just feel like the Packers have so much riding on this game just because of last year with the whole 15-1. They were the best team.
Yep.
Giants going into their stadium and beat them. And Packers hottest team, probably hottest team in the league right now. Best team, one of the best teams in the league right now.
Yep.
I think they're going to win that game.
First game on the schedule, Oakland at Bengals. That game.
We're going to go with the Bengals.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, the Bengals are playing good right now.
They are. They definitely are.
Raiders are not.
Raiders are not.
Obviously. So I don't even think we have to get into any detail with that one. It's pretty much going to, Bengals got that. The Steelers at the Browns.
That's a big game.
Charlie Batch.
I think the Browns can do that.
The Browns can
win that. They are in every game. Like we've said on previous shows. They're always in the games. They got a great defense. I think they're going to win that game. I think Whedon's going to outperform Charlie Batch. I really do. Because they still got wide receivers out. Plexico just coming in. He's new to the team. I think the Browns are going to pull off like a 17-14 kind of game.
Wow, he's putting a score out there.
I'm putting scores. I know it's going to be close. It's AFC North. I mean,
yeah, definitely. Next game, the Bills at the Colts.
I think we can go with the Colts on that.
The Bills.
They're going to be too much for them.
Yeah, the Bills. Struggled against the Miami Dolphins. So, the Bills, if they got a couple more players that
it always seems like that.
Yeah,
Bills. Like if they just had like one or two more things, they wouldn't fall apart every year. But they always do fall apart.
Mario Williams not playing up to the $100 million that he got.
No, he's not.
So
Texans.
He's also hurt.
Good.
He's also hurt. Yeah. So whatever. But
I guess I think the Texans like that trade though.
Oh yeah,
or
definitely.
Not trade, but the free agent thing because J.J. Watt. I don't know if people have heard of him, but
yeah. Now if you had them both together.
Then we're talking about something crazy, but to let him go for $100 million to save yourself, it looks pretty worth it.
Let him go.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck's been playing very well lately.
Yes, he has.
So I do think the Colts take this game.
Yeah. You can see the Bills hanging in like always, but towards the third, fourth, the Colts are just gonna run away with it.
And it's home.
Yeah, they're home.
The Colts. So, they've been really running on like a high.
Yeah, like the Chuck Pagano.
Chuck Pagano.
Chuck Strong.
Which is, just pretty sad for Chuck. But
it's good to see like a team, rally around their first year head coach like this. It's a really good story.
Next game, you got the Titans at the Jaguars. Going to be a good game, I think.
Yeah.
The two pretty bad teams.
Yeah.
Pretty much end up being a good game.
I know. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I do.
Chad Henne's completely turned that offense around. We could say that.
I kind of think that the Jaguars take this game.
Yeah, I think they will too. I think Blackman's gonna have another big game.
Yeah, from what they did to the Texans, I think they're gonna.
I think they're gonna build off that. Yeah.
So, I do think the Jaguars.
Titans, they don't have a good defense, so they should be able to do good things against them.
The next game is Denver at Kansas City.
And the paper bags are going to be getting passed out once again.
Yeah. Kansas City is
This one's going to be ugly.
Kansas City's just been, pretty much the welcome mat for the rest of the NFL.
And I don't know.
Everybody's
I just don't know what
it's.
You look at the team and like
you see players. They have like great players in your skill positions.
Exactly. They have an amazing running back, one of the fastest guys in the league.
Their defense is ridiculous
with Ali and
then
Berry.
You got Berry, you got Brandon Flowers. They have a nice secondary. They have a very good defense.
Yeah. It's the quarterback.
It's obviously the quarterback. You put it Brady Quinn starting this game.
Yeah. And that's how you know you got a problem.
Yeah. So it's just, you got Castle, you got Brady. It's just, it's going to be.
Yeah. And when I look at it, like, everyone knows they obviously need a quarterback. But, like, because I watch college football too a lot. Like, looking at the college quarterback, I just don't know who they can take. Yeah. There's no quarterback like last year.
The only one that you can say is Barkley.
Yeah. But
he's been hurt. He's been hurt
now. He's had a pretty bad year.
So you don't know what you're gonna get.
That's the tough thing for them this year.
There's not a quarterback that's out there that is putting up the numbers like either RG3 did.
There's none of those
Andrew
guys.
Luck.
We had 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round last year, and they're all starting now.
And the year before that, you had Cam Newton played out of his mind. I just don't think
there's just no one this year. So I don't know what they're gonna do in the draft this year.
I mean, because then even if you look at the teams that are good in college football right now, their quarterbacks are either a running quarterback.
Yeah, it's just the college system quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't see a quarterback coming out of the draft for them.
You gotta feel like I just feel bad for them because I mean they're having this awful, terrible season obviously, and there's no one they can go to in the draft to say, you know what, like this is the guy that can turn us around. There's no quarterback like that for them, and it's a shame.
The next game is the Vikings at the Bears, which is going to be a good game. Really good game, I think.
Because the Bears are obviously been struggling a little bit. I think they're going to be fired up to try and get a win.
And I don't know if Cutler will be playing this game.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is either.
So the way that the Vikings been playing against good teams, they've been taking down good teams. So I mean, it is also in Chicago,
and they have they have a quarterback that's like Kaepernick though. They're gonna go to that film from the Bears 49ers game and do everything Kaepernick did.
Yeah. And, I mean, their defense just looked horrendous against the 49ers.
Yeah, it did.
So, we'll see what the Vikings can do. I don't know who wins this game. I
don't. That's tough because you don't know who's going to show up.
If the Vikings were home, I'd say automatically I think the Vikings win this game. This is a big game for the Bears.
This is. Because, they need to prove, they can beat a decent team.
So, I mean, I think I'm going to go with the Bears because of how their defense played last week. I think their defense is going to come back out.
It's definitely going to step up.
And, step up. So, I do think the Bears win this game. Next game is the Falcons at Tampa Bay.
That's a nice game.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game.
Very good game.
Tampa Bay is home. The way that the Falcons been playing, I don't know if I can go with Tampa Bay just because, I don't know if their defense can hold up to, Atlanta's offense. I don't think they have cornerbacks that can.
No, it's on
but you don't know what you're going to get from Julio Jones because Julio Jones has been hurt the last 2 weeks, and he didn't play well last week.
I'm liking the Buccaneers in this game. They're playing with a lot of heart. They're playing with fire from the head coach.
It's going to be a tough game. You know what? I could put an upset out there. I think Tampa Bay might win.
I think Tampa's going to do it. They're one of the hottest teams in the league right now.
So, then you got Seahawks at the Miami Dolphins.
I'm going Seahawks.
I think I'm going to Seahawks also. I mean, the Dolphins.
Their defense is really underrated. The Seahawks. They're giving up. I think the second least amount of points in the league.
Yeah.
So they're gonna shut down Miami. Yeah. Lynch is gonna have a big day.
Russell Wilson will do his thing. So
they don't even have to do that much. Like just play their game and they'll win this game.
I mean, Miami lost to the Bills last week, so
they're falling apart. I think there's 3 straight losses in a row. So
next game is Baltimore at San Diego.
This game worries me with the Ravens because Phil Rivers plays well against the Ravens.
Yeah,
he has in the past. Chargers beat the Ravens last year. Blew them out. I'll add that as well. I just don't like when they have to play the Chargers.
And it's in San Diego.
And it's in San Diego.
So it's going to be a tough game. I still think...
I think the Ravens will do it because Rivers is not himself.
Yeah.
He's not himself at all.
He's a turnover machine right now.
And when we're talking about one of the best turnover creators in Terrell Suggs.
Yeah.
Finally, getting strong, healthy, he's getting back. I think we're going to see a sack fumble, 1 or 2 on the day. And he's obviously going to throw a pick because that's just what Rivers does. So,
yeah. I think Baltimore's defense will step up, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's going to continue what it built on last week.
And I think Ray Rice is going to run.
That's the key. That's the key for the Ravens to win. If they can run the ball, they'll win this game.
Because then it opens up, the long pass that Flacco loves to throw.
They love throwing that deep pass.
So, I do think Baltimore wins that game. Next game is San Francisco at the Saints, which next to the Green Bay Giants game, I think is another big game, but I think it's also going to be a great game.
It's going to be
So
especially for the fact that it's in New Orleans, not San Francisco, because we know how New Orleans plays in that dome.
And the big part of San Francisco right now is the quarterback controversy.
Yeah.
So they said that Alex Smith is cleared, but he's going with Kaepernick.
See, now my thing is, personally, I don't think Alex Smith is ready.
I see my opinion on Alex Smith, good quarterback, not a great quarterback.
Yeah. But if you look at his stats, he's the third most efficient quarterback in the league right now.
I know.
So you're not going to take him out just because of one start from Kaepernick. He's obviously not ready to play. I think Harbaugh just likes having fun with people, likes having fun with the reporters, likes building it up a little. He doesn't care, He's that type of coach, He told them who's starting days ago, more than likely, probably the day after the game.
Yeah.
So I think he's just having fun with people. Smith, he's got to be not ready because you're not going to just take him out one start to a guy who's done so much for your team this year.
So I honestly think the Saints win this game.
No, it's tough to beat them in the Dome. That's the only thing. New Orleans,
and the Saints have just been unbelievably hot right now.
Yeah, they're the old Saints right now.
I think the Saints win this game. The next game is St. Louis at Arizona. Arizona, I think, wins this game because Arizona is a totally different team at home.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, I mean, what?
I'm picking St. Louis, though, with the upset. Because, well, not upset, but it's kind of an upset because they're going on the road in a hostile place.
I totally forgot that Arizona's running on their third quarterback right now.
They just signed a week ago.
Yeah,
and
so
I feel so bad for Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
I really do.
This guy,
since Warner, he has had no one.
This guy's one of the best wide receivers in the game. I think he's
so
actually
underrated.
The third best.
He's so underrated.
So it's I feel bad for him because he's really never had a quarterback.
Besides Warner, the couple of good years with Warner, and he puts up stats every year.
Oh yeah,
with a no-name quarterback. It's amazing.
Then obviously the Sunday night game is huge.
Huge.
Packers at the Giants.
Rematch from last year's playoffs.
Yep.
I think Green Bay comes out strong. Mike McCarthy's got this team. He sent them the message about last year with the playoffs, and I just think they're going to show up.
With the Giants, it all comes down to Eli Manning. If he's throwing his turnovers, then
you can't have turnovers against
the Giants.
Team.
Are just going to have a bad game.
Yeah, you cannot have turnovers against the Packers.
It's a big game. I really don't know who I'm going to pick in this game. Obviously, I'm leaning towards the Packers because I want the Packers to win.
I'm believing that the Packers are going to win.
But it's tough. It's going to be.
Oh, it's definitely going to be tough. But I don't care what I say. They have the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league. So when you have a guy like that, when you got beat by the team that you're playing and at your own stadium in the playoffs, you're out for revenge.
Yeah,
you're out to
definitely
upset them in their own stadium now. So I'm going with the Packers.
And then the horrendous Monday night game, Carolina.
I can't believe they haven't rescheduled this.
Yeah.
I can't believe they haven't moved this yet. Like they did last year with the Colts.
Yeah.
When Peyton got hurt and later in the season they took the Colts off Monday night.
Yep.
I don't know why they haven't done this yet. This is a joke.
This game's going to be pretty bad.
I don't know how you can do it. Yeah. How you cannot switch I know you can't. you can't do the Saints 49ers game because the 49ers been on 2 weeks in a row, Thursday night and Sunday. But you got to do something. You cannot have that game as Monday night.
This is pretty bad, but it's in Philly. I mean, it's a tough game to pick because they're both
awful,
bad.
And they both seem like they want to lose.
I think the Eagles win this game, though. I think Nick Foles takes them to the W.
I'm going Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to go in, and
wow.
I think Cam is going to have a pretty big day.
I think the Eagles are going to win this game, but
see, the thing I always bothered me with Philly, they have one of the best running backs in McCoy.
I know,
and they do not run the ball. They have Nick Foles, a first-year quarterback, rookie quarterback, and they still didn't run the ball.
Oh, I know.
And it just makes absolutely no sense. And Andy Reid is really just throwing his job away. This year.
Yeah, well, I think he knew he was gone at the beginning of the season. So I
mean, like, he's had a tough year. He's not even been. Probably hasn't been focused on football with everything.
I don't think this is all his fault.
No, it's not.
I think it's just pretty much he's at the end of his road. Like,
he knows. It's the window's closing.
Yeah,
he knows.
So it's like, and it's just
there's no motivation there for him.
The way that everything's been going is just pretty much, just time to move on.
Yeah, exactly. He knows.
It's time to move on. With a lot of coaches are like that.
When they know their time's coming, it's like
So, but that's it for the Sunday games. Anything else you gotta say? Football Friday.
This is another great episode. Just once again, I just want to say thank you to everyone out there that been helping us out with the views and keeping us going every day for doing this. It's really it's exciting for us to see the views and stuff like that. We're always like checking them stuff. So just thank you, and please keep it up.
Yeah, remember the videos are on YouTube, youtube.com/JerryNaps. It's on there. Also, they're up on Twitter at Tom and Jerry Sports. So make it a point to go and check those out.
Yeah, please do.
We're on our 4th show. This is the 4th show. So, help us out. We're trying to get out there, trying to get our own show.
Be really appreciated, guys.
We're working on getting our own show on an internet radio. So, we'll keep you posted on that if we get onto that. So, but thanks again. Hope everybody had a nice holiday. That's about it.
Yeah.
Have fun watching games on Sunday.
Yeah, have a good weekend, guys.
Tom and Jerry signing out. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Tom.
Be breezy. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Tom and Jerry Show.